Hello and welcome to a game between WhiteRa and DeMusliM. WhiteRa will be playing as the red Protoss player at the 6 o'clock position, and DeMusliM is going to be playing as the light blue Terran player at the 9 o'clock position. This is GG Your Face, and the map is going to be Metaopolis. This is a slightly larger map. It does have 4 players, and it appears that WhiteRa is going to be scouting the 3 o'clock position. He will not find his opponent there. And take a look at DeMusliM. DeMusliM is going to be scouting as well, and it appears that he is not going to scout directly to the 12 o'clock position, which is what most players would do because it is the closest spawn location on the distances on the ground. DeMusliM is instead going to scout the 6 o'clock position, and of course WhiteRa did catch a glimpse of that SCV with his pylon that is being placed on the edge, but he is still going to scout the 12 o'clock position regardless. DeMusliM very smart, knowing that his opponent is probably going to scout him early, and he has determined on the first guess the correct position to scout, and he is going to be putting down a refinery inside the base of WhiteRa. WhiteRa is not very happy. He will be bringing in a probe to try to kill off that SCV. That SCV is still alive, and it's going to float back and forth, and let's see if WhiteRa can get inside the base of his opponent. He is going to run up the ramp. There is a Marine, and he is not going to sacrifice that probe, it seems. This one Marine is going to be enough to hold off that charge, and this SCV is still alive. The probe is trying to get a hold of that SCV, attacking it once again. Cybercore has since gone down, and this SCV is probably going to hightail it out of there very soon. It looks like he will go to the back to check if his opponent has put down anything in the back, and he will know that there is also a pylon in the back as well. Xel'Naga coming out is going to start working on that refinery, but of course the refinery can be cancelled at any time to regain most of the minerals that he has invested in it, and I think he is going to do just that. SCV still inside the base, and is probably going to leave very soon, as the stalker is probably going to come out, and I believe the refinery was cancelled there. The probe is still moving back and forth, and there is going to be one bunker going up for DeMusliM, but bunkers are free structures because you can always salvage them and get back the full cost of your investment. And the reason he is putting down this bunker, well, it's because he is going to be getting an early command center. He's going to have only one barracks into a command center along with the bunker, and he's only getting his second barracks right now. There's also going to be a robotics facility coming out for WhiteRa, so this is not your typical 2-gate robo or 3-gate robo. This is straight up 1-gate robo into a scouting thingy, and some Marines are hanging out on the outside of that bunker. They do enter the bunker as they were slightly early, and there is no second gas being used by DeMusliM at the moment, whereas the second gas is being fully mined by WhiteRa. As we can see on the income tab, both players are about even in terms of income for the minerals, but in terms of gas, WhiteRa does have double the amount, as he does have more harvesters and also another gas open. But of course, DeMusliM will be the first one to get his expansion up, as his command center is about to be complete momentarily. And we do see 1, 2, 3, 4 racks, and it appears that one of it will get a reactor, the other one will get a tech lab, and 2 more barracks along the way. We'll see what he has momentarily, and this is, ooh, he does put a secondary pylon. I was going to say this is a really bad positioning for these structures because that is one pylon powering basically everything, but now it's 2 pylons powering everything. But the good thing is he does have the pylons well spread out, so he could possibly put down units anywhere inside his base, or possibly build anywhere inside his base should he choose to do that. And a secondary tech lab is going to go up on the 3rd barracks there, and WhiteRa is going to come in at the right time and see that his opponent is going to have 4 racks along with the orbital command, and at this time he is also going to open with his own nexus. That is some units being rallied to next to the bunker, and he does have 1 observer as well as 1 probe inside the base, and both these players are fully aware of what each other one is doing, except for DeMusliM, as DeMusliM does not see this gateway or this robotics facility. And this SCV is probably going to go down, as there are some patrols with the Zealots, Stalkers, and Sentries. And this Nexus is about to be complete, and there looks like to be more Marauders along with some. Stempak is being researched. Army size is going to be at 47 versus 56, and it looks like DeMusliM is going to do a pusher with a lot of those SCVs. There's a total of 8 SCVs along with a pack of Marines and 2 Marauders, it seems, and the probe is going to run out of there, and he will be able to, as the Marauders do not yet have concussive shell. If the Marauders had concussive shell, they could have taken that down, and there is going to be a Colossus coming out for WhiteRa, as he is going to let this Nexus finish, and I think DeMusliM wanted to let the Nexus finish so we can destroy it. He is going to come in here, and there's going to be some more units coming in. Army size is at 60 to 62, very close. SCV is going to be taking some of the damage for DeMusliM. DeMusliM is focus firing very nicely with the Marines and Marauders, and the force field is keeping a lot of those units alive. along with the Guardian Shield, I mean, and this Nexus is going to go down possibly 400, 300 HP. I mean, at 300 shield, and this Colossus was just like a spider dancing back and forth next to something, and the SCVs are going to take down the Nexus. That was a great snipe there by DeMusliM. DeMusliM is going to fall back. Hey, what are these SCVs doing next to the main statue? They're just standing there doing nothing. I guess he did not put them in the control group, and these SCVs will go down. I would say that was a slightly more even exchange because he forgot about the SCVs and did not retreat with them. And it appears that he is going to be making another Nexus for WhiteRa, and these Stalkers along the Colossus are going to try to chase down and cut off these units. He does not have vision, but he probably assumes his opponent is going to go that way. His opponent is running in to try to kill off some of these snipers, and he is going to try to pick off this Colossus, which will not be enough, and he does retreat very, very smartly there by DeMusliM, as WhiteRa is going to push forward with this Colossus. This Colossus has 12 kills, and the Colossus is not in position, and he will be able to snipe one more of those Stalker. And of course, with the snapback, he is able to run away very quickly. And there is still an observer inside the base of DeMusliM. DeMusliM probably sees it as he was looking on the screen. He does have double the SCV production. He has not yet gotten expansion just yet. And of course, the income tab does reflect a huge advantage for the Terran player, as he does have a lot more SCVs now. And he's going to have 4 of those barracks, and he does have 1 Stargate and 1 factory just to let him build a starport, not Stargate, excuse me. And there is going to be more and more Colossus along with the thermal lance, and I think WhiteRa is slightly behind here as he was able to get his building sniped, and he is going to have it operational momentarily as DeMusliM is also going to run it out, and the observer was just shot down by the Vikings along with the Marines. This is still a pretty close game. Both players taking some hits so far, and we'll see how this game evolves as it develops further. And some SCVs should be coming out to mine as well, so both these players are going to be on 2 bases now. Their natural expansion not so very heavily defended, as both players have a lot of their units directly inside their base. And this probe is going to be sacrificed to that Marauder, and the Marauder will happily oblige. He does have 3 kills, and he still does not yet have the concussive shells. He is getting the combat shield, but the combat shield is not going to make too much of a difference, especially against Colossus. It will still take about 2 hits to destroy any of those Marines. And the Twilight Council is going to go down for WhiteRa, as he's probably thinking about moving away from Colossus because his opponent does have Vikings, and he is going to come in here with the observer and see what his opponent has, and he will catch a glimpse of the starport and possibly the 2 Vikings that are coming out, and also the Viking that took down his observer earlier, and he might get his observer taken down once again. Ooh, no, he's not. I guess his opponent wasn't watching. I guess DeMusliM wasn't watching the screen when he flew by there with the observer. I thought he was controlling the Vikings. The Vikings are moving very actively back and forth. And the army size is at 97 versus 102, and it appears that another Marauder is going to come out here, and the observer is going to catch a glimpse of the full army of DeMusliM. So WhiteRa knows exactly what his opponent has, and he is going to push forward with these 2 Colossus. These 2 Colossus needs to be careful because the Vikings are going to come over. There is a total of 6 Vikings, I believe, coming out. The army composition is going to show 3 Colossus versus 7 Vikings, which is about even on the air battle. Well, not so much the air battle for Colossus, but for Terran, actually. And of course, there's going to be more Marines and more Marauders, and the Observer is actually moving along with the Force. I really don't like moving the Observer with the Force because that is usually the way that they get sniped down. And ooh, I thought he caught a glimpse of that. I would have caught a glimpse, I think. And some of these Vikings are coming in here, possibly trying to do a snipe on the Colossus, giving him vision of the high ground. We'll be able to take down that 1 pylon, but he still has an observer in the back. Both these players are gearing up a lot more toward the mid and late stages of the game, as the Protoss player, WhiteRa, is momentarily supply block. He needs to make more and more structures, and he is going to make a lot more gateways and pylons. He needs to make more gateways to help him produce because he did lose the production for a while, so that's why he made more gateways to increase his production slightly in the later stages. And there is going to be the first medevac on the field, I believe. Templars are on the way along with Storm. More and more gateways. There's a total of 2 gateways here, and there is also 3 gateways, so 5 gateways total inside. And this medevac is going to drop some units inside the base and see if they can possibly snipe off 1 or 2 of those buildings, maybe a pylon of some sort. He should snipe these 2 pylons. Oh, and he is going to go for the probes, it seems. And the Stalkers are coming in, and he did manage to get a good number of probe kills, but I don't think that was even. But this is a very good opportunity for DeMusliM to move out. He is going to move out to the middle and possibly catch him off guard, but I think WhiteRa is going to be able to move back in time. His scan goes off. He does not have EMP against the Storms, and the Colossus are going very going down very, very quickly to the focus firing of those Vikings. Storm actually wasted unnecessarily on the Vikings, I feel. And he doesn't actually have any point defense drones to prevent those Stalkers from shooting at it. And there are some storms, and these Templars are moving way out of their league. And he is going to be able to hold that off here. WhiteRa does hold off that charge from DeMusliM. Good distraction there with the medevac, but not enough to fool WhiteRa. WhiteRa is pushing forward. He does have more forces here. He's going to stem forward and run forward. He will be able to kite those Zealots if he chooses, and he is going to be able to kite those back. He is moving backwards. He does not have enough resources to keep on healing those medevacs. I mean, he does not have enough medevacs to heal those infantry units, and the army size is going to be at 102 versus 104. Both these players still very, very close. Both are grabbing their second expansion, third base, and it appears that the third base for DeMusliM has gone up, so he will have slightly more income than his opponent, unless he is not saturating or he is super saturating his natural expansion over here, which explains why he does not have as much income as his opponent. And there's going to be another drop inside the base for DeMusliM, and this pylon is going to go down, possibly unpower the robotics bay, and no, he's not going to kill it off. Oh, he is not focus firing down on anything. He's just harassing his opponent. But WhiteRa is not easily harassed, and he is still full of steam, and he is going to just scout back and forth. The first engineering bay is going to go up. I think he is going to be upgrading some of his units, as he is going to be loading up a lot of those units, probably going for a really big drop. At the same time, a really big push is coming for WhiteRa. WhiteRa is going to march out with a lot of Zealots, and I think DeMusliM sees him, or possibly not. Ooh, both of these players do not see the other one coming, and at this time, DeMusliM will see his opponent is going to march out, and he is going to commit here. He is going to commit to destroying his opponent's base, and you can keep tabs on that at the lower right-hand corner of the screen as we follow the main army of WhiteRa coming into the base of DeMusliM. As he's charging forward, these Zealots are absolutely destroying everything in their way. There is only a handful of units inside, will not be able to take down this tremendous army of the Protoss, and all of these SCVs are going to go down very, very quickly. At the same time, the base of the Protoss player WhiteRa is getting destroyed by DeMusliM. They're going to go for a base swap possibly, and maybe he wants to lift these buildings, or maybe not. He is making more units, but those units are dying immediately as they spawn. And he is going to have trouble defending his own units, as well as the base is going to go down here, and he is going to be able to take this down. But of course, there is still a big army. Ooh, a great storm there by WhiteRa, as he does have some Templars. He needs to reinforce this if he wants to hold his base. Both these players are doing terrible damage to each other, and I think WhiteRa is not going to fall back. He is going to try to destroy as much of DeMusliM's units as he can. And in the meantime, there is going to be some Templars. They're going to get their energy back. And he has... Does he have a storm? Does he have a storm? He does have not enough energy just yet. He will have enough energy in like 20 seconds. He does have some storm over here. These Templars came back from the army and will be able to take down the DeMusliM's units. All of the Muslims, well, not all of the Muslims, most of the Muslims' forces are gone, but he was not able to do critical damage as his opponent was able to do critical damage to him. That was a great game. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys at the next game. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for listening.